Uh-oh, it's that MZK kid with the annoying intro making yet another pro No Man's Sky video that is so blatantly engineered to get into YouTube's algorithm. I mean, the thing is, yeah, you're like 50% right, but the more I think about No Man's Sky, and the more I look at the state of No Man's Sky on YouTube, the more I get inspired to make positive content that tries to reach as many people as possible. So with that said, today I want to explain to you all why No Man's Sky will indeed make a comeback at some point. Perhaps this year, maybe next year, maybe 10 years from now. I can't tell you when, but I know that one day No Man's Sky will have the resurrection it so desperately deserves. Now, chances are you might have already seen one of my other big fat essay style videos that YouTube seems to always recommend. And if you're not big on the game, that's fine. I know YouTube can be an annoying cunt sometimes when it comes down to recommending videos. But if you have seen another video, then you know that I adore licking Hello Games' arse dry and raving about No Man's Sky. They don't pay me to do that. I am just quite a big fanboy, that's all. A lot of what I would like to say in this video in terms of, you know, frequent updates, ethics, shit like that, has already been beaten to death in my various other videos. So for once in my life, I'm not going to gas the game in that aspect. But how I will gas the game is in the stuff it does very right, and where No Man's Sky is actually an extremely unique product for a number of different reasons. So I want to start off with by far my biggest reason why No Man's Sky will have a comeback, and that is because it's really the only game of its genre that does what it aims to do so well. Now, space games are not rare. I know that the two big daddies competing with No Man's Sky are Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, but you also have some others like Astroneer, Boundless to some extent, and that one called Planet Nomads, which people apparently don't like. So yeah, space games are frequent, but none really deliver what No Man's Sky does. No Man's Sky's main selling point is obviously the procedural nature of the game, and that is what the game does right. Not perfect, but right. It has more variation, more planetary exploration and style than something like Elite Dangerous. But the thing is, I absolutely despise comparing No Man's Sky to Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen because they simply aren't the same games. Yes, they're all set in space, but they tickle different people's fancies. Elite Dangerous, for one, is probably the hardest game I have ever played in my life. It's a simulation, and it's also an MMO. It is basically something which requires time and skill to even learn how to land your fucking ship, something which No Man's Sky does with a single key. Star Citizen is also a giant pit of money that probably won't ever go anywhere, and it is sort of a mix of exploration, story, and simulation as well. But No Man's Sky isn't really any of that. Its entire existence is based on exploring, and in a market where the closest thing you'll get to that is Astroneer or Minecraft, the market is indeed quite narrow. No Man's Sky is really the only game of its kind, and it's one which people clearly care about. People absolutely gassed No Man's Sky before it dropped, like insane amounts of hype. So the want for just exploring a universe that never really ends must be a desired concept. Until something properly competes with No Man's Sky that offers that same casual exploration element that sells No Man's Sky to so many people, the game will continue to be a rarity in its genre. Now, this leads me nicely onto my next point, and that is how No Man's Sky is waiting to become popular again. As I said, there is a demand for a game like No Man's Sky, a desire to have a game that was basically pre-release No Man's Sky. I get the feeling that so many people hold off from trying No Man's Sky because of the shitstorm that went on at launch, and that's a real goddamn shame. But without getting all emotional and fanboyish, which no one wants to see, I'll say this simply: No Man's Sky has the formula to be the game it was intended to be. Hell, it's nearly there. We just need some of those LSD colours back and better generation, and we're basically there. The gameplay is there. The aesthetic and exploration is simply lacking. And when that does eventually happen, No Man's Sky will be the game it was shown to be, but 10 times better. And when this ticking bomb finally explodes, those who were excited for the game's release back in 2016 will hopefully come back. Think about it this way. No Man's Sky is still a universally recognised name. It's famous for being shit in a weird kind of way, but when the game isn't shit, if you want to call it that, then I guess it's kind of like a fresh start. It's 2016 all over again, and the interest will hopefully come back once again. I really do believe that people keep a close eye on No Man's Sky. They're waiting for the day it resembles the E3 presentations, and when it does, the feelings of excitement and desire to explore will hopefully motivate players to get back into the game. And finally, I have to talk about past trends with No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky Next was a crazy update. It was an overhaul, a huge fucking update that cost absolutely nothing and made the game a load more dense and playable and just have more substance than what it had back in 2016. Next brought a very brief revival of No Man's Sky. There was a time when people loved the game and a new meme was birthed out of the biggest comeback in history. A lot of people made really positive videos on it. A lot of people were thinking that this is the year of No Man's Sky. The year where No Man's Sky is finally popular again, and it is finally a game that is liked. The problem was though, this didn't exactly last. A few months after Next, the player base just sort of dipped and things went back to normal, but the view of No Man's Sky did not change. People in the modern day are now way more accepting of the game, but the gameplay itself prevents it from being a true comeback. For ethics and how the game is perceived, I mean, hell yes, it's a comeback, but there is definitely so much more to go. And that is where Beyond comes in, the next big update. The update which contains virtual reality support, No Man's Sky Online, and another unknown component. The Beyond update will likely breathe that life into No Man's Sky, which Next did, but this time for much longer. And a few months later, when another update releases, the cycle will repeat. Basically, No Man's Sky just needs more content to make it truly have a comeback, and I'm pleased to say that this could be as close as this summer with Beyond. If not, then it's near. Very, very near. So guys, that is just about all I have to say for this video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, if you did enjoy, then please do feel free to leave a like on the video, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.